Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So this is my second attempt at doing Libra's reading. I tried to do it the way that I was doing everybody else's reading and sort of Aries to Virgo, and the cards just weren't cooperating. So I've gone back to the system I was using the week before, which seems to be working really well for you, because you've got this real kind of high priestess, dreamy, out of this world quality to your energy at the moment. It just feels like Libras have left the building, Libras have left the planet, like mentally, like ejected. No, we're going to somewhere else because Earth sucks at the moment. It's kind of like Libra's energy. It's like it just feels like opting out of being part of the world because the world sucks. That's kind of how it feels. Like I want to say like energetically, right? Like not literally and physically. It's like energetically. Just I don't know if I've been finding this myself where people are talking to me, but I'm like mentally somewhere else. I'm not hearing what people are saying to me. It's just this like different plane energy coming through for you. So yeah, I'm doing the reading a slightly different way. I'm just going to kind of run through what I've got, and I don't want to kind of waste too much time kind of going through stuff, but I've been getting the name James constantly. Jamie is how it first came through, Jamie, and then James. So I don't know if that's somebody's name or it's relevant to somebody. Yeah, my notes, I've got soul abandonment and soul screaming. So I don't know if you've just got this feeling, especially like watching the news and stuff, of just feeling like it feels like Libra, you've been trying to call something in. You've been trying to say, whether you're calling out to God, praying to God, or, calling out to, I don't know, your starseed ancestors, or, your spirit guides, your angels, or just a higher presence. It's like, it feels like sending out an SOS. They're playing the song to me in our sending out an SOS message in a box. Right, it's like you're sending out this SOS. So I'm kind of getting this through kind of these kind of cards. I'll just sort of show you. It's like so how do I explain it? So let me show you this one as well. Like, come to me. So like you're calling something in. You're calling in like God, you're calling in the starseed, like ancestors. It's like, come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. Some of you, it could of course just be like manifesting what you want. The Holy Grail here as well. Like, so it just, I don't know, it feels like, it's time now. We need, like, the earth needs help, or I need help. It could be personal, it could be collective. It's like, this is the truth of the situation. So like, it's almost like this crow is your messenger. It's like you're sending up, or this bee as well. It's like your words transforming into birds and bees, and trying to send your message, because maybe you can't. It's like, how do I contact them? How do I send this message? How do I tell the truth here, that I need them, that I need help, that I need rescuing from Earth? This is how it's coming through. So I don't know how it, on a personal level, this could just be, I'm doing something in my life and I need help. I've got to a point where I recognize that I need help with this. I've got as far as I can on my own, or, and perhaps my mood is really low. Like, I did your reading, Libra, and my mood hit rock bottom, and I had to kind of do yoga, I had to meditate, and it was just like this energy, it was like just pulling me down. Like, you've got this kind of like void energy here. So I don't know if you're spiritually connecting with something, because it's not my energy. Like, I'm not depressed, right? But I don't know if you're energetically connecting with someone or something, or just, like, again, like what's happening globally, and seeing, like, going on social media and seeing your friends, your family, feeling quite despairing, feeling quite hopeless, feeling quite helpless. That's actually imprinting onto your energy, and kind of like, I get, that song, I feel the pain of everyone. It's like that. It's like, it's just this like depressed, sinking feeling that was coming through in your reading. It was really hard for me to keep pulling myself back out of it. So it does feel like, look, the humans are hurting, my friends are hurting, my family's hurting. Like, where are you? Why aren't you here? So And it feels a little bit like trying to send up the distress signal as well. Oh, with the bees and the birds, like your words turn to birds, that came through in one of the songs as well. This song keeps coming through for you. It's the third time it played, like, while I've been in your energy. Coachella, Woodstock on My Mind by Lana Del Rey. She talks about, if my words turn to birds, I would send them to you, or something like this. So if my words turn to birds, I would send them to you. So I don't know if you're seeing birds and feathers as well as a sign. So what's really interesting is I've just come back from a walk. You may be able to hear I'm a little bit stuffy. It's starting to show signs of spring now. The weather was quite nice and sunny. It's cloudy now, which is interesting. And you know, like the buds were kind of like budding on the bushes, and there were some daffodils and things like this. But I was getting quite a lot of messages as I walked around, through music, through kind of meditating as I walk. It helps me to understand the messages that are coming through. And I remember thinking something, and there was a feather on the floor. And to me, if I see a feather, it's like a sign from my guides. It's confirmation of something that I'm thinking. And it was like it was a little gift. So, and then I saw an apple, and it was something about springtime and nature and the abundance, like the abundant universe will provide, or something like that. Because it's like, I didn't pick up the apple because I thought, but I picked up the feather, and then there was an apple on the floor, and I thought, this is it. It's like the time is now. Something's coming into fruition. Seems to be a message from the King of Air, who's coming through as like a spirit guide or a spirit guardian or an ancestor, or it's like, this is the person you're trying to call in, right? This is because he comes through as in a reading last week, he was coming through with this like teacher energy. This is your spirit teacher, you know, this is your guide. But he feels kind of watchful, rather than, he feels kind of like the kind of guide, a bit like Saturn, right, where it's like, I'm going to stand back and see how you get on with this. I'm only going to intervene when it's really necessary. A little bit like Snape, I suppose, in Harry Potter, you know, like the Watcher kind of energies. It's I'll keep an eye on you, but, you know, you're here to learn lessons, and I can't constantly be holding your hand. It feels a little bit like that, but you know, still guiding you, still sending you the signs. Something like this. So I want to say, there's a big strong message here, which I'll kind of explain further as we go along. Like, your message has been received. You know, he's received your messages as well as you receiving his messages, or their messages, right? It could be like your starseed guides, because at the end of your last reading as well, Libra, you had Commander Ashtar, I think he's called. He was one of my angel spirit guide, like, tarot decks. Let me just pull the deck out so you can see what I'm on about. Here. So angels among us, it's like all different deities, like, you know, that could represent what's going on with your energy. And yours was Commander Ashtar, who's like this starseed commander, like the commander of the starseed fleet. And I want to say, whatever that energy represents for you, right? Whether this is an ancestor who's passed on, whether this is God for you, whatever that represents for you, whoever this like spirit guide or starseed guide is for you, this is representing that. So I don't know if you know them. I don't know if this is something that is almost like a guardian angel for you, where you may even be not conscious of this guide, but it's like the commander has received your message and the star fleet is responding, but you don't see the response. I want to say you just see this void energy. So just before we move on, I just kind of want to show you this fire spirit energy, and how this is kind of saying to you, it's like, this is where I'm getting like sending up the distress call. It's like, you're very rooted on this earth, right? You're very rooted in your physical form here on earth as a human on earth, right? So it's like, you know, she's almost like a tree, like the dress kind of turns into the roots of this tree. So you're very, very rooted, you're very stuck here. So all you can do is send up these energetic messages, like truth energy, like that's you, that's your truth energy, and your courage as well, your courage to do this, your courage to send this message up, perhaps in a very playful way as well here, with playfulness and the butterflies. Yeah, it feels like something like that you're doing that's very bold here. You're standing in your truth, you're standing in your power, you're sending up this signal, because can you see like the fire in her hands? It's almost like this turns into these lanterns, you know, like in Tangled, she sees the lanterns, right? But this is like sending up these very light it's like sending up the bird, right? Like speaking your truth to the bird and sending it up. Or it could be like if you have lost an ancestor, it's like maybe because people light those lanterns, don't they, to connect with their ancestors. So it's like telling a truth to one of these lanterns, or telling a truth to the flame. You know, maybe like I've got a candle burning here to the left, like maybe doing candle work where, you know, you're trying to contact an ancestor or a spirit guide, like something otherworldly, right? You know, you're telling them your truth and you're asking for help, perhaps like sending up the SOS. So, and it's like, come to me as well, like, come, I can't move, I'm rooted here, come to me, seems to be the message. So lineage of the roses here as well, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call, gather. So this is what I mean, it's like you're trying to, it could be that you're sending out multiple messages, right, to friends, family. I mean, this doesn't have to be quite so airy-fairy. It could be really literal. You know, I need help. I'm lonely. I'm in distress in some sort of way, or I see a way to help with this situation, but we have to gather, I have to call my friends and my family in, I have to gather everybody together so that we can make a bigger impact. It feels like a group, right? It feels like I've been getting this kind of like blanket feminine energy of like almost like a star map on earth, right? The interconnectivity of women on earth. So it doesn't have to be women, but that's how the way it's coming through. It's like if we talk very, very stereotypically for a second, and excuse me, I know that there's I am not like anti-men in any sort of way. You know, I am very thankful that men exist here on earth. So I just kind of want to throw that out there. But it's like, you know, historically speaking, in politics, and, you know, a lot of the time it is old white men normally making big decisions on everybody else's behalf. And sometimes those decisions are very, very difficult for everybody. And they put families, normal families, right? Normal hardworking families of all different genders, and, you know, mothers and children, and, you know, the youth and the future at risk, or under a lot of duress and under a lot of stress. So it's talking about the almost like the women and the children. It was coming through as Sabine energy, if you know that reference from some of my other readings, where it's like the women's voice, you know, and it's this almost like a majority voice. I don't know if women are the majority, but it should be 50-50, right? But I think there's something where sometimes it's a little bit in different direction, especially if a lot of men are going to war. That's going to cull the numbers a little bit there, right? But it's like this the feminine, right? The quieter feminine energy, almost having like a ripple effect. I don't know if it's like all the women talking on Facebook saying think of the children. It does have a think of the children energy. There's a strong connection with Capricorn's reading. They had this as well. You can't when you're that old and that, what was the quote? It always has me in tears. When you're that old and that alone, or something like that, you can't just stand back and watch children cry. So that feels like maybe more of this energy. It's like, of course they're coming, of course they're here, of course they're doing something, of course they care. You know, they are responding. I want to say this other energy. That's Aquarius though, just to kind of say that. So it's like this star man, this star seed, ancient old Doctor Who energy. You've got a bit of Doctor Who in your reading as well, which I'll kind of come to towards the end. You know, responding to this. It's coming through like a soul cry, like a soul scream, like a blanket scream across the world, like all the women raising their voices and screaming together. Is the way it's coming through. Of course, that's metaphorical, but that's how it's coming through to me. So if you listen to songs like Zombie by the Cranberries, and you look at the history of that song, it's like, I studied humanities, and to me that is such an impactful song with such a big message, because she actually some of the lyrics and some of the notes in that song, because of course that does talk about a mother losing her children due to conflict. Some of the notes have this kind of keen to them, this kind of this wailing, which is to do, you know, what mothers do in funerals in Ireland. So this, which, you know, again, like this keening energy, this soul cry energy. You know, why is this happening? This is not fair. Is there a God? If there is a God, why aren't you here? Why aren't you doing something? Energy coming through. You know, so this soul scream, this collective, the feminine within all of us, again, taking gender out of the equation a little bit, the feminine energy in all of us, seeing things that are distressing to our soul and soul screaming for help. So, okay. One of your songs that came through in the last reading, again, I really struggled with your last reading, was Silk by Wolf Alice. Just looking for a protector, God never reached out in time. This love, it kills me slowly, and slowly I could die. This is, I mean, like I say, I had rock bottom energy after doing Libra's reading. So attempt number 2, and Coachella as well, Woodstock on My Mind by Lana Del Rey has a similar thing. Apparently she wrote it while she was at Coachella, right, which is this big music festival, a festival of the youth. You know, a lot of, you know, teenagers and young adults go there. It's a very young festival where people are just going to have a good time, right? And if you think about Coachella and Woodstock, this kind of festival energy of love and peace and happiness, and the power of music as well, like Zombie by the Cranberries, and the impact that music can have on our soul collectively. So apparently she was at Coachella, she was having a good time, and I think she was on her way back, and a conflict had started, and she was talking about borders closing and things like this. I can't remember the specific conflict, but if you go and look up, you know, Lana's wiki, you know, the song on Lana's wiki, it's all kind of there. Yeah, so again, this what about the children kind of energy. You know, they've got long hair like me, you know, this kind of thing. So yeah. So I know that I've been because I do this energy work, this meditation and energy work, where I reach my energy out collectively to the universe, to other people. It's like sending out energetic roots like this, right? This is exactly what I do when I'm meditating. So I envision a seed of light, which is kind of my soul, and I breathe it in and out, which is again what you do during meditation practice and yoga work. And I see that light expanding, and it turns into a thread, but the thread grows down, it turns into the roots of trees, and of course the roots of trees talk about interconnectivity of earth. And I imagine the branches of a tree coming up like lightning antlers, right? Like branches of a tree, but it's like light going up to the heavens, reaching out to the sky, reaching out to the stars. And then I expand my energy like a bubble across the earth up. So I have this work that I do where I really reach out energetically and psychically to connect to, you know, what's happening globally. So I've been sending my energy to places of conflict to try and sense what's happening there. So that is, I'm going to kind of come back to that again. Come to me, come back to me. So it's calling your soul back in. I want to say, stop the endless searching, inner quest. The Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms, which is really interesting because again, when I was doing this energetic work, I found myself in the basilica in a place where there's a lot of conflict. St. Basil's Basilica. I'm just trying to avoid saying certain words because I don't want to be like hidden on YouTube, because this happens if you say certain words, YouTube will hide your video, so and demonetize it, but I don't make money through YouTube. So like and subscribe, help me out, it's free to do. Hit that notification bell. But yeah, so I found myself in the center of St. Basilica's cathedral, or St. Basil's Basilica. Is that right? Am I saying it wrong? And when I looked it up afterwards, apparently, and again, I don't follow any particular religion. I think everything is one big thing. So nothing's right, nothing's wrong. It just is, right? That's my philosophy. But whatever you have, you know, I respect everybody's different opinions and feelings on this, so everybody's welcome here is what I want to say. But in the center, the kind of room that I was in was it is associated with Mother Mary energy, and how she protected everybody by covering them with her veil. And again, it has this energy of like, in your reading, again, it's one of those out there readings, but of having this energetic veil of connectivity and protection, mother's protection, right? The mother hiding her children, perhaps. So this kind of energy. But it's almost like this veil is creating some kind of blindfold for you. You feel blindfolded. You feel like you've got a blind spot. So as I say, it's like you've been calling in, that you've been praying perhaps, or even if you're not actively, praying, just, on a subconscious level, with that soul call of thinking, I'm seeing horror, I'm seeing pain, I'm seeing suffering. I wish somebody would come and help. How do we help? Perhaps you've been petitioning politicians, think of the children, think of the future, this kind of thing. But it's like calling in like-minded people, calling in the other people who have share your energetic signature, right? Your opinions, your beliefs, your feelings, your view on things, calling them in. But there is this blind spot, right? There is this blind spot. It's kind of like, I've got this feeling of you being like, where is everybody? I've been calling them in, where are they? And then there's this blind spot where I'm going to say this didn't come from me. This came from Santara. So when I first pulled these cards, I noticed it because I've been seeing Santara talking about it. But it's only because when I pulled more cards, I wasn't going to say it because I thought that's kind of her thing, but then I pulled more cards and I was like, I'm getting the same thing. So she talks about these cards sometimes of how, and like, the blur in the background. It's funny, I got Song 2 by Blur. It's like the blur in the background. It's almost like something impacting your field of vision, where it could be a psychic vision, right? Your psychic field, which you had this in your last reading. It was like you were being kept as a secret in a bubble by some kind of bigger energy. So it's like there's a veil over your eyes, right? Which again, like the veil is lifted from over our eyes, that kind of thing. I want to say there could be something where you are intentionally trying to lift the veil on something. You're intentionally trying to see the truth of a situation, or have the truth be seen. Because again, it's like this is coming through, again, it's kind of like curtain or veil energy. I was really seeing it here with the again, it's like this closed in or closeted, like not being able to see, like your vision has been masked in some sort of way. And again, here with like this, it's almost like the curtain needs to part, you see? It's like something going on there where your vision's been impacted. And I couldn't pull up a card for this spot here. So you actually have a blank spot in your reading. I couldn't get a card out for this spot. So I carried on. So there's some kind of deception, I want to say. There's some kind of secretive or sneaky behavior going on, perhaps collectively, which I want to say is impacting your field of vision. Again, with this kind of like whole energy, it's like there's something that's right there. It's like it's right there, but it's in your blind spot, so you can't see it. It's like that kind of in the corner of your eye, in the, that kind of niggling feeling of like there's something there, but I can't quite catch it, I can't quite see it, but I see, it's like I can see the hole, I can see the gap, because it's like things don't add up, or there's a piece that's left unsaid. There's something in my awareness that I don't know. I know that I don't know something, is how it's kind of coming through. And then there's something about this bridge as well, because this is like the tricky energy, right? It's like somebody who's two-faced, somebody who's deceptive. Funny, two-faced came through for Leo energy this week. Not saying that Leo's two-faced, but they could have been dealing with somebody like that or something like this. But it's like you're on this bridge, right? You're on this bridge walking towards this. It's like Song 2, because you had this in the reading where it's like you were in your last reading where you were aware of the next chapter. You were already, it's like you were already mentally in the next phase, but physically, physically you weren't quite on the other side of the bridge yet. But it's like this is mentally where you are, but physically, how do you get there when there's all this around you? It's got kind of like, who can I trust, or are people being two-faced here? There's this real, but also you being on the bridge of black and white, right? You being you understanding the truth of a situation, that, you know, it's not a movie where there's good guys and bad guys. You know, that is a black and white, simplistic view. You and Gemini tend to, because this is a Gemini card, tend to have a much more nuanced view where you see all the different factors, you see all the different equations of a situation. You understand that everybody, you know, people don't think I'm gonna be the bad guy here, I'm gonna do the wrong thing. People don't think that. I mean, sometimes they do, but normally it's I have to do what's necessary. I have to do what you know, I have to do what I think is right. When you have a conflict, normally both sides of the conflict think they're right, which is what's creating the conflict, you know? So there's something here about you trying to understand both sides and be the middleman or take the middle ground, be the peacemaker in a situation, something like this. See the truth of a situation, perhaps where you're aware that, especially, again, sometimes it's coming through quite collectively, but it could be on a personal level. It's like people aren't telling you. It's like, you know, when your friends and your family aren't telling you something, but you know, you can tell something's off, right? But by the way they're behaving and by the things that they're not saying or not talking about, you know, you see that there's something there that's not being said. So it could be that as well. And perhaps like friends and family around you fighting and you being like, I'm going to take the middle ground here. I'm going to be the peacemaker in the situation. I'm just going to listen. I'm not going to judge anyone. I'm not going to try and fix anything. I'm just going to be the person who listens, right? Who listens to everybody. It's maybe something like that, because that's right in the center of your reading. So again, it's like you've been trying to call in this group around you, right? You've been trying to call in these ancestors, spirit guides. You may feel very disconnected as well. You may feel very, like, again, soul abandonment. You may feel like you've been abandoned by your spirit guides, by your ancestors, by your angels, by God, you know, whatever that is, by even by your family, if this is like a literal thing. Some of you, it could be like a surprise party. I'm just gonna throw that out there, because it's coming through with like, but they are actually right there. You know, they're all around you. I want to say, do you see all these little people? So there's something to do with like this void and this energy here, because this is complete happiness. This is happiness shared with other people. This is celebration. This is fun. It's like a festival, right? It's like going to a festival with your best friends, your closest family, the people who you know you can rely on, the people who have your back, you know, the people who you have a good time with, and like really kind of just having a really good time, a really good day. But it's like you kind of wandering around on your own. You're in the wrong field, saying, where is everybody? Am I in the wrong field? Did I take the wrong directions? It's almost like, no, they're right there. But it's like this thing about being on a different plane. And I got this kind of as one of my intuitive messages the other week, where they showed me kind of like an image, and then they broke it into about 4 plates, where the image was like broken down into 4 different sections. It was almost like an image being extended or drawn out. So if you think about like how animators work, especially like if you ever watch like how Disney films are made, they have what are called plates. You can actually buy plates, right, of scenes. It's like they have like the foreground, and then you have like the character who's being animated, and then they have like something else, and then you have the background, and it's like they can switch the plates, so they don't have to paint the foreground every single time, you know, they can just have the character being animated. So it's like there's something to do with like, again, it's like you're in this kind of middle ground, but the background is kind of obscured to you. It's like the plate is like smudged or something, you know, like sometimes when I'm doing my filming, if my camera's got a smudge on it, everything's a bit blurry. It's like one of the plates is smudged or veiled. You can't see what's going on in the background, because there's this like there's this veil between where you are and where they are, perhaps, right? Where they are could be talking about the veil. So it's like they are, if you put those plates together, and we could be talking about like almost like parallel dimensions, because your reading does have a bit of that to it. It's like parallel dimensions, or the multiverse, or you know, being on different energetic planes. So if you think about how like the sun is moving through the soul, like the sun moves, right? I'm not imagining that. I know everything revolves around the sun, but the sun moves physically through space, I think. Maybe not, but like the earth is always moving, and it doesn't just move round and round, it moves like, you know, like this kind of thing. So, you know, the earth is never in the same spot twice, but it's like you know, or it is sometimes in the same spot twice, but it takes a long time. So it's like you're doing something here and now, but, you know, in a different time and space, Earth comes back around again, and somebody else is doing something in the same spot. So it's like this, like if you put the plates together, like if you could remove the veil of time, you'd see that other person in the same space, right? Something like that. I don't quite fully understand it. You know, I'm not a physicist. I'm not, what's his name? The guy from that pop band in the 90s. I'm not him, Brian something. Right, so it's like they are all there. All these ancestors, these spirit guides, these friends, they are there. You just can't see them because of this like blockage in your field of perception, right? So this kind of continues. I think it's got this like leap of faith energy as well. It's like you're going to take a flying leap into the void, like you're going straight into, again with the, can you see the lines here, like you're going, like your path leads almost straight into the void, like you're going right into it. You're going right into the unknown, I want to say. But this is the Eight of Emotions as well, is a card about longing for something. And the Eight of Fire as well is a card about like rapid communication, like sending messages, ping, 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 ping. So it could be that you're sending messages, like you're sending messages to all your friends and they're not responding. You know, it could be like an internet thing. Have you ever had that where you send somebody a message and they don't get it, and then they get it like 3 days later because there's something going on in the network that kind of delays the message? It's like something like that maybe. So it's like they are here, they are all here, they're all around you. So I'm going to come back to that in a second, because there's also something else happening here where you've got this Eight of Emotions. It's like you're staring at the sun. You're trying to understand a situation that's being hidden from you. Because you see how it's like it's being revealed. It's like you're trying to see it. You're looking straight at it. You're looking straight at it, or you're trying to. And then it's like, then whatever this is, it's like it comes to fruition. So again, it could be like a surprise party, right? Everybody's there, but they're hiding. You just can't see them. And you know something's going wrong because everybody's acting sneaky and they're not answering your messages. It's like something, and then it's like, surprise, we're actually all here. And it's like really abundant, right? It's really fruitful. So something like that. It's like it's there, it's happening, you just can't see it. So I don't know if it's like intentionally being kept a secret from you, or it's just that there's something in your perception where, I want to say it's this guy, it's like this person, perhaps for your own protection, right, is not letting you see something. So I went for a walk today, like I say, and it was really sunny actually when I was walking, and it's not now. So everything happens for a reason. But I was like, it's nice weather. I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to go out and, you know, seeing like the apples falling from the trees and things like this. I don't know if it had fallen from a tree. Maybe a kid had just thrown it. I don't know. it was there. But I turned a corner and I was walking up this very long street with no trees, no coverage, because I'm in quite a leafy area, and this specific road had no tree coverage, right? I was in like the bright sunshine, and it was quite early, but you know, I was still dressed for winter, so I was really, really hot with my layers on. And there was a really big breeze coming up the road as well, which was like hitting me full on right in the face and making it quite difficult actually to push forward and walk in that direction. So it was almost like there was resistance with me taking that specific path. So again, everything that happens is part of the reading. And the sun was almost directly in front of me, so it was very hard to look in that direction because it was so bright. And I thought, that's what it is, that's something to do with what I'm missing here, because it's like, it's not a void, it's not darkness, it's not a void. It's actually, you can't look at it because it's so bright. You can't look at it because it's so bright and so dazzling that it'd hurt your eyes to look at it, right? So it's not darkness, it's brightness. It's almost like that's what's missing, that's the opposite. It's something like that. I don't fully understand, but it's very, very powerful, because the song Your Power by Billie Eilish played in response to this. Try not to abuse your power, I know you didn't try to change. So I don't know, it's like whatever this big thing is that you're not seeing or not understanding, it's I want to say it's something to do with like divine masculine energy as well, because the sun is masculine energy. Like it's too powerful, you can't see it because it's too powerful, something like that. Like, I don't know if this is about a specific person in a position of power, but I want to say it actually turns out to be really, really good, I want to say, with the 10 of Emotions. So there's something to do with, again, like if you look at the sun, like sometimes if there's a lot of cloud coverage, you can kind of look in that direction, but it's like if you look directly into the sun, it would actually cause blind spots in your eyes, right? It would cause you to go blind. So there's something with that happening there. So the way that you look at this, the way that you see this is through being, it's like the veil actually does allow you to look at it in a weird way, because it's like she's not looking at the sun here, she's looking at the moon. And of course the moon doesn't have a light of its own, the moon doesn't glow, it's reflecting the light of the sun. So it's almost like you can look at the sun with not a mirror, because obviously again that'll blind you, but it's like you can look at the veil. The veil is actually serving you in a way, because like a pair of sunglasses, it's or a specific telescope, right? A specific kind of telescope that allows you to take pictures of the sun because of its filter. It's like the veil is actually a filter, and it's actually protecting you. It's protecting your vision, something like this. It's allowing you to see it in a safe way, something like this, with this assessing and fruition, because it's like it's being revealed to you. Do you see? It's like it's coming into view, it's coming into focus. Okay, there is all, yeah, like, let me just think. I'm just thinking about which order to give you this information. So as I say that as well, it's like, which order, how do I give you this information so that you'll understand it, so that it's not overwhelming, right? Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. So I want to say again, it's like you realize you actually, when you have the vision, when the veil is perhaps at the right focus, it could be talking about some of you maybe going for an eye test. I keep getting messages saying I need to go for an eye test. It's just a checkup, right? I feel like my vision's not changed, but it's like, you know, when you go for an eye test and they put in the different lenses until something comes into focus, it's like that kind of energy. It's like getting the focus right. Don't put too much energy into it. Perhaps, you know, perhaps your power's too big, you know, and it's blinding you. I don't know, but it's like this energy that you were calling in, right? All these people who, I want to say, they are all around you. You just can't see them because of this lens or filter. It's like, here they are. Do you see? It's like they are there. It's just something about your perception. Can you see here as well? It's like they're made of stardust, or they're made of the same stuff as the environment. So like, I'll just show you this card as well to kind of show you. It's like they are, you know, they've been there all along. They've always been there. They're always around you. Just something is going on with your perception or your filter where you're not quite seeing them, or they're being hidden from you because of, you know, it's like, if it was talking about, say it was talking about, for example, ghosts, right? So these are the ghosts of your family, your ancestors, all around you all the time, being your guardians, being your spirit guides. You know, take it or leave it. It's not going to be for everybody, but I'm just giving you an example. And then it's like, if you took the veil off, if you took the blindfold off too quickly and you just saw like a room full of ghosts. They show me an image from Last Night in Soho. It's a brilliant movie with Anya Taylor-Joy. Really go and watch that if you get the chance to see it. I think it's on like I don't know if it's like Netflix or Prime or something now. It's a very, very good movie. A bit of a thriller, right? But there's a specific scene, without giving you too many spoilers, it's kind of in the trailer and stuff, where, you know, the room is full of these ghosts. You know, that'd be terrifying for you, that'd be scary. So it's like you have the power, you have psychic ability to see these things, but if you saw them instantly, like if that veil was pulled back, you'd be scared, right? It'd be shocking, it'd be overwhelming to you. So they're kind of like, you know, like the de-smudging the veil so that you start to catch glimpses of these things. Like, it's funny, I had a dream like this as well last night. They show me Ghost as well, you know, the movie Ghost. So in your last reading, you had this lizard. So I've pulled this card out on purpose because the same message was coming through in your last reading using this card. So it was coming through as your energy, but again, you can always flip it. It's whatever this is, right? It's whatever this this being is, or these beings that are in your environment. I don't want to scare anyone as well. I'm not trying to scare anyone. So again, things can come through metaphorically. It can just be understanding information, understanding your own friends better, something like this. You know, like actually seeing your friends clearly for who they are as characters. So, but I'm going to give it either way. the way it's coming through, basically. So, and it's up to you to take it or leave it, or adapt it to your situation as necessary. So there was something with this card where this lizard, again, lizards warm themselves up by the light of the sun. They're cold-blooded, like the moon, right? So it could be something to do with like the feminine energy being like the moon. The moon represents feminine energy, and the masculine energy being like the sun, and how perhaps being in the presence of certain people, it warms you up, right? But when that sun is denied to you, like a plant, when that light energy, when I don't know if it's a certain person that you kind of, who warms you up, who brings you to life, kind of thing. When that light is denied you, perhaps you really feel a cold, something like that. Perhaps there's something to do with it could be the light and dark within you, by the way, masculine and feminine, yin yang within you, because it does say, like, talking about within you up here. But it could be another person as well, right? It could be your counterpart energy, where perhaps being around this person, like the sun and the moon in orbit, it creates a psychic link or something, or it activates you in some sort of way. It warms you up, but perhaps it can be overpowering. So it's like, how do you get the filter right, so that you're not overwhelming each other, but you're complementing each other, and you're helping each other to improve your powers, something like that. I don't know, that just kind of came through as a side note for whoever wants to take that. But it was like this message of, you see how, like, there's this thing about going against the grain as well. Like, maybe standing in your truth means that you go against the grain in some sort of way. But it was coming through with like a kaleidoscope, like how you, again, with this lens energy, right? It's like, how do you, Libra, you're very, very multifaceted. I always say that you're like a diamond, right? You're like a brilliant cut diamond, where you've got a lot of facets. Or when you view a situation, your mind is like a diamond. You can see all the different opinions, all the different thoughts, all the different components, the full 50 shades, right, of a situation, and you can see right through it. You've got a really good perceptive mind, like all the air signs, right? So but it's like a kaleidoscope. So sometimes people see you as being very changeable. You're a very adaptable sign, right? You can adapt to different situations. You can change your colors, you can change your opinions, you can change your you are very adaptive to different situations. So it could be, sometimes you could be with one friend group and you agree with what they're saying because they're making good points, but you could go to a different friend group and agree with what they're saying because they're making good points. It doesn't mean that that's your opinion. It just means that you understand the different points being made. So sometimes people can see you as like a little bit two-faced perhaps, or a little bit changeable, because you're saying different things to different people in different situations. But I want to say that you're just showing them, like, the whole of you, right? The whole complicated Libra energy, this brilliant diamond, is too multifaceted for most people to comprehend, right? Everybody's different. So the multifacetedness of Libra is like, to understand the whole picture takes a huge amount of mental energy, and it's really only air signs that can really do that, I would say. Maybe Virgos and Scorpios as well, but normally it's like, this is your gift, Libra, to be able to see right through of the whole situation, and see the multifacetedness. But even as I'm turning this now, do you see it's like a kaleidoscope energy? So again, this is representing you. It came out to represent you and your energy being like a kaleidoscope, ever changing. So every time you see a different idea, a different opinion, your opinion, your focus can shift, right? You are mutable and shiftable in that way. So I want to say that's a really good thing. I think as a Libra, it's a really good thing, because sometimes people can be very, very fixed in their opinions. If you think about, again, like old men of a different generation, or women too, it's not gender specific, but like people of a certain generation, as they get older, sometimes their views can get very, very fixed. It's like, this is right and this is wrong, and I don't want to hear the other side of the story. That's what you're not like. You are always open. You're always open to new information, new facts, new information coming in, and you take it and you add it to your kaleidoscope of colors, and you change those puzzle pieces around. It's like, for you, the picture's always shifting, because actually in reality the picture is always shifting. There's always new information coming in, there's always new ideas coming in. The world is not a fixed energy. The world is a always in motion, right? And this is what you understand, and this is why you're so mutable and you're brilliant. And if people don't understand that, if people see this as being two-faced, or people see this as being I don't wishy-washy, that's to do with them not actually being able to have that multifacetedness, right? That's their problem. So that's one thing that was coming through this again here with this like kaleidoscope. So there's definitely something about the kaleidoscope, the image shifting, and the lens and the filter, right? So back to this kind of like, you know, this presence that's there but not quite there. You know, the thing that's in the corner of your eye but you're not quite seeing it, or the corner of your perception, the corner of your understanding, but it's not quite coming into focus. It's like it's kind of camouflaged, it's blending in with, you know, it's blending in with the background. So the message that was coming through with this was like, it blends in. There is something here, there is something there, but it blends in so well with the background. Like, it's so well camouflaged that you only see it when it moves. You can only notice it when there's a change, when it moves, right? When it moves, you see it. When it stands still, you don't see it. So as an example, they were showing me like the Tyrannosaurus Rex scene in Jurassic Park. You know, the T-Rex, it's got really bad vision, it's really bad eyesight, so it can only see things if it give me another reference, my guides are funny. You know, it only sees you if you move. So it's this thing about maybe like, don't panic, Libra, stand your ground, stay still. Like, you're flying under the radar, but it's like they're showing me like another scene. I think it's from Jurassic Park as well. It's like if you made a break for it, if you ran for the door, it's like all these, they're showing me like all these heads turning, you know, like the little chicken things. It's like like you moving catches their attention, so it's like, stop moving, or don't, you know, do you want, it's up to you. So this is coming through now with like, you know, this fruition, this finally being able to see the fruitfulness of a situation, or to be able to understand everything that's going on in the, you know, to have the vision, to have the understanding. It's coming through again with this like this lens energy, or this blindfold or changing perception energy, as putting on a VR, like a VR headset. So like 3D glasses, right? If you go to a movie with 3D glasses, you know, the dimensions change, the image changes, there's depth to it, things jump out of the screen. But this is like it's like putting on the VR headset, and suddenly all your friends are there, right? Suddenly it's like you can see everybody around you. So again, it's talking about being on a different dimension, a different plane of existence. So being in a, you know, a 3D reality, like a computer game simulation, right? Like, and it's like all your friends are in the same world, all your friends are kind of like, they're stood around you. So, you know, they're not actually there in your physical environment, but on an electronic level, you know, they're in the same realm as you. So it could be talking about something like that. So okay. So messenger, I want to say this is your energy again, especially with the diamonds that are coming through. You can see like the diamonds here and the diamonds on this card as well around this portal. It's like something to do with you being a portal, you being the messenger, you like the energy, like again, the energy of the heavens flowing through you, like the high priestess energy. You know, you are the conduit in some sort of way. Again, like you're on the bridge, like Billy Goat's gruff, right? But you're on the bridge, you're the conduit between two different sets of corresponding energy. So whether this is people on earth and this, you know, the ancestors, the god, the spirits, you know, whatever this is. And again, it's like they received your message, you sent them a message, they received the message, they've responded, they're all around you, but there's a change in perception happening that needs to happen for your own safety, for your own protection. So it could be that, or it could be like your family members, your groups of friends, you know, people who've fallen out with each other. You could play a certain role, like I remember in my old job I was kind of in this mid-level like lower management kind of role, like a supervisor role, where I would be the one talking to the people on the floor staff, the training people and all this kind of stuff. But I would go to the management who are dealing with like the more corporate side and say, this is what's going on the floor, and then they'd say, this is what's going on at corporate. So I'd be the go-between between those two different sections of the workforce. So it could be something like that as well, just to kind of ground it in reality a little bit more. Sirius energy, messenger, bringing harmony and balance, and then lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Again, this thing about question everything. And I think when the earth is in states of distress where there's conflict happening, it's really, really important to question everything, because you're not going to be given the full information. It doesn't matter which side you're on, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what your opinions are, wherever you're getting your information from, it's not going to be the full story. Okay. And I think that's why, question everything is important. What are you not being told? What information do you not have access to? Look beyond the surface, right? Look beyond the veil. You are not going to receive all the information. You're going to receive what the people giving you the information want you to know. That's a fact. I studied humanities, classics, literature. There's a lot of history and politics involved in that. It's what people do, why they do it, why they say it. And it's a fact. Throughout history, when there's conflict, there's propaganda. It's a fact. And if you think that wherever you're getting your information from is 100% truthful and accurate and all the information that there is, it's not true. Even if that news source or that source has really good intentions, right? Even if they're really good people, really good intentions, they're really trying to give you an unbiased view, they're not going to have full information because they're not in the rooms where things are happening. So just be aware of that. And that's not me taking sides. That's not me, being devil's advocate. That's me saying this is a fact of the way humans react during these situations. Question everything. It's healthy, it's good, because if you don't question everything and you take things at face value, that's when horrific things can happen. That's a fact, no matter which side you're on, right? So question anything underlying must go. And then there's this thing back to the children and the mother and children relationship, the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So this could be talking about again, starseed energy, perhaps, people who are in this world but not of it, people who have a different perception, a more higher perception. This kind of came through in Capricorn's reading, but they'd gone so far out they'd like lost the view completely kind of thing. It's like being in this world but not of it, maintaining that sense of analytical thinking, maintaining that ability to question everything and to look for the blind spots, that ability to think, to not get so swept up in the emotion of a situation that you stop to ask questions. So something like that. And then this thing about very unique as well. So again, like starseeds often are very quirky and weird. You can talk about also like the golden children can sometimes refer to or like terms like this can refer to children who have learning differences, different abilities, so just take that as it resonates. But there is definitely something for you where this veil is, just to kind of show you, you're not for everyone. It really feels like, and this says, embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So I don't know if this is something about yourself that you've refused to look at, right? Something that you've refused to acknowledge about yourself. But like I say, it's like you're jumping straight into it. You're jumping straight into this unknown, this thing where there's questions that aren't answered. It's like, it's like it's drawing your attention, because it's like if this is moving across the landscape with you, you're aware that it's shifting. You're aware that there's something there. So you could talk about even like what is it, Planet 9 Nerubi, is it called? I can't remember. Planet 9 as well. Like this, there's a planet that scientists recognize that there's something there, but they don't they can't see it, right? They're trying to see it with the telescopes, and they can't see the planet, but they can tell it's there because it's like it's creating a impact on the planets around it. You know, there's a gravitational pull, so they can see everything around it responding to it, and it kind of comes and goes. So it's like they know it's there, but they can't see it. So it could be something like that. But it's like you're going straight for it. You know, you're being very, very brave. You're heading straight for the castle. They're gonna make me their queen. That's Halsey. It just kind of came through there. It just made me think of the castle. Yeah, you're heading straight forward. Like this is where your path is leading you, whatever that means to you. Again, look here. Like this is where your path is leading you, directly to this portal, whatever the portal represents for you, and it can be a lot of different things. It's like facing it head on. You see like the landscape, like looking directly at it. Just look at the imagery on these cards, and like this landscape, this kind of like sandy landscape. Yeah, you're not for everybody. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Because when you're genuine, you know, the people who are meant for you, your starseed family, if you want to look at it that way, can find you. So this portal then, like facing this thing that you can, it's like you can see it because you can't see it, right? So this veil, like the parting of the veil, the lens, the thing coming into focus. So you can see it again here with like this coming into focus. And again, this kind of like, almost like the parting of the veil, the parting of the curtains here as well. You know, the parting of the curtains, you can actually see there's almost like a city scene happening. Look here as well. I didn't realize until now, but it looks like there's an explosion there. Like, you know, like you can see there's some kind of city. I didn't realize it was like on fire. When I looked at it last night, it was kind of dark. Oh my God, there's tanks. Look, I didn't know that. It was kind of dark when I did this reading last night. I could see the spires, but I couldn't see everything else. Again, this thing about perception, you know, being in the right lighting to be able to see things. And it's like pulling it away. It's almost like maybe like what's happening on Earth is not a distraction. I don't want to kind of like delegitimize it in that kind of way, but it's like look beyond the news, look beyond the surface, lift the veil and see what's behind it. What is behind it? What's this? What is this? And then it's like going through the portal. So doors are opening, you decide rewards and wild card. It's like there was something coming through with the skirt here, where it's like she'd taken the veil and she'd disguised herself with it. Again, with this like disguising energy. It's like you can't see it because it's made of the stuff that's around it, right? You can't see it because it's made of the stuff that's around it. So it could be like veiling your opinions or something like that. It's like wearing a disguise so that you can pass through into a different situation. So it's like she's now wearing the veil. Right, she's wearing the veil and she's about to pass through the portal. So it came through with, which is really, really interesting how this kind of all came through. It came through with, if you've ever seen the movie Enchanted, she's literally from a different place. She's from this, it's a Disney story, it's a Disney princess story, and she's from this Disney animation. Like her reality is a Disney cartoon, a Disney princess cartoon. She's this like Sleeping Beauty, living in the woods, singing to the animals and things. So her life is literally a fairy tale. That's her reality. That's what she knows. And she comes through a portal into it's definitely go and watch this movie if you haven't already seen it. It's such a good movie. She comes through this portal into the real world, but she still acts and thinks like a fairy tale princess. So she's got like the middle of Central Park and she's got them singing this musical song. So I'll come to that in a second, but it's like at one point in the movie, because she doesn't understand, right? She's from a different reality, so she actually takes down some curtains and makes a dress out of it. So that kind of came to my mind. And the song, how does she know that you love her? How does she know you love her? How does she know she's yours? And her as well, like that specific actress, is it Isla Fisher? I've been thinking about her a lot. I was thinking she should play Poison Ivy in a Batman film as like a really down-to-earth. You know how Poison Ivy... Right, sorry, I'm going into Batman. Like, skip it forward a minute if you don't like my fangirling. So I was thinking like of how like they could make like really realistic Batman characters. for like the Batman movie. And I was thinking they could do Poison Ivy, but make her because Poison Ivy's always really attractive, right? Like she's always really, really sexualized. But I thought make her more like Isla Fisher in Enchanted. Make her more kind of like giggly and friendly and kind of naive, because that's actually very attractive, right? There's again with this kind of like the golden children, the inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. You know, she has that childlike quality to her, and it's very engaging because there's not many people like that. Most adults are kind of like brittle and jaded, right, by that point, but she's like, you know, coming and singing and dancing, like, I don't know. So I was thinking have her more like that, have her more kind of like coming across as sweet and bubbly and innocent, but she's, you know, she is a botanist, right? She does really care about plants and nature and the environment. So I was like, you know, they have this thing about her having the perfume, right, that kind of the love potion that kind of makes people fall in love with her and do whatever she desires. I thought she could still do that. She could wear like a perfume, but it's like a softening rather than it being like a sexual desire. It's like a, oh, I really like this person. So I was like, maybe she knows everybody, but she keeps to herself because maybe she's really attractive, right? Maybe she's really attractive. So she spends all the time with the plants. That's what she wants to do. And being an attractive woman in Gotham City, you know, that's very dangerous. So it's like to protect herself, she has this kind of perfume. Sorry, I'm such a fangirl. She has this perfume where, or this plant toxin that she wears or she eats. It's like it's sort of like pheromones, right? So it's something to do with like her pheromones, where when people get close to her, they just think, oh, she's really nice, I really like her. I've got this urge to kind of like parent her or protect her, and it allows her to move around Gotham City and do her work, but it's like everyone knows her. It's like if you mention her, everybody's like, oh yeah, I know her, she's really nice. Even like the mob bosses, right? It's like even the mob bosses are like, oh, that girl, that sweet girl, yeah, you know, like don't mess with her. So she's like fully protected. I'm sorry, I'm going off on one, but it's I'm doing it again. Skip forward if you don't want to hear it. So it's like maybe she's like maybe like Batman, maybe Bruce Wayne is like building you know, a new orphanage, or like the Wayne Corporation, or you know, he's like got a plot of land, but there's some kind of like special like mushroom that could like cure cancer, or it's really good for humanity, or it's because like you can get like mycelium and mushrooms and stuff that take the toxins out of the earth. So she's like, oh no, you can't build there, I've got this like special plant that I'm researching and I can't propagate it yet. If I move it, it dies, so you can't build there. So that's how Bruce Wayne meets her, right? And she's like doing a thing with him, but he's like, why does everybody know this girl? What's going on? Anyway, that's my whole thing about like how they could do Poison Ivy in a different way that's like not overtly sexual, right? And more grounded and more real. So anyway, I don't know why that's all coming through, but it is. So yeah, I was kind of getting, how do you know? How does she know? You love her, how does she know she's yours? And I randomized a song, I swear to God. After this reading, I was like, I was going to bed and I was like, I need a song to kind of fully understand this reading so I can tell Libra about it. And the song that randomized was Tell Her You Love Her by Echo Smith and Matt Kearney. I was like, what? And so she kind of has that look to her as well, like the singer. If you watch the video, she has that kind of is it Isla Fisher? She has that kind of look to her. Okay, so don't just be everything she wants, be everything she needs. She said you were a hero, you played your part. So there's something that was Billie Eilish, the second one. So I was like going mad. I was like, it's the same message. It's the same message. So for Leo, I was getting this kind of like Batman, Harvey Dent, Two-Face thing where it's like Leo came through this kind of like Harvey Dent energy. If you kind of know the Batman, the Dark Knight kind of ones, he's the hero that Gotham needs, right? He's the golden boy. He's the golden child. He's the face that they need, right? He's the you know, like he's the symbol of hope that they need. So it's this, Leo had this thing about being the golden boy, being the person that people need you to be. But then Virgo came through with this energy of like being Batman, being the hero that Gotham deserves, right? It's like the unsung hero, being working in the shadows, like even having a bad reputation, a bit like Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, right? I'm the bad guy, but it's playing the bad guy. so playing the bad guy, playing the villain, but actually at the same time, like Snape as well, right? Snape, people think he's the bad guy, he's the villain, but all the time he's got this kind of like watcher energy. Do you remember I was saying at the beginning of the reading where it's like he's kind of like a spy, right? He's doing good. So it kind of came through like that. And then you have it as well. Don't just be everything she wants, be everything she needs. And then Billie Eilish, she said you were the hero, you played your part, but you ruined it in a year. So it's like something to do with people wearing masks, trying to be the person that they think somebody wants them to be, or like the hero somebody wants them to be, the hero somebody needs them to be. Well, perhaps that didn't work. Perhaps that's done the wrong thing. Perhaps it's had the wrong effect, where maybe the person needs to take the mask off and be who they truly are. And even if that means, not being the golden boy symbol that everybody needs them to be, but being the honest, truthful, real everyday hero who is authentic and is honest about their values, something like that. Tell her you love her. Jamie. I don't know if that's for someone called James or Jamie. It's how it came through. So what else do I have? I'm nearly done, guys. We're nearly there. So it ends with the missing piece. So what is this missing piece? So just to kind of say, this messenger, like you coming in as this crystal being messenger, I don't know. It's like this nightingale. Look at that as well, like the justice card, the DA, right? The symbol of hope, the golden boy. Like, I don't know. Maybe people are looking to you as the justice card in the tarot, as perhaps you've been in the hero in situations in the past where, I don't know, you've stood up as, you've been authentic, you've used your voice, you've spoke up against, authority, and, you've done it with, Veritas came through for one of the readings. You've done it with honor and integrity. This is your card in the tarot. You've been this, you've stood for that. And so maybe people need you to be this symbol of hope right now. Singing in the new dawn, the new day. The nightingale for me is, they sing when dawn is about to break. They sing when, they're a symbol of hope. They say, we know it's dark, we know it's night right now, but, the light is coming. Things will get better. I don't know what's going on with these readings. Okay, so what is the missing piece then? What is the missing piece? Come to me. Trying to summon these things in, but they're there. They're all around you. The veil lifting, things coming into focus, seeing it. So I asked, and I was actually asking about the void, which you have somewhere. It's here. It's actually under again, it's like you're heading straight for the void. You're heading straight for the castle. Heading straight for the void. You're going straight into this portal. Like, look at all this portal energy, right? Like this new beginning, new moon beginnings. When one door closes, a new door opens. It's like you're going to the next level. You're already going to the next chapter of Earth. You're already singing in the new dawn, the new Earth. Like, things are going to get better. But you get there by heading straight into the unknown, straight into the secrets, straight into the void, right? Straight into the darkest parts. Like, that's how you find out. Again, like, just look at all this symbolism. Like the veil lifting, right? Like, look at it all, like going into the void. Like, that's how you see it. So obviously be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Like, again, there could be some fear. There is fear of the darkness. There is fear of the unknown, right? So maybe some of you are going through like dark night of the soul type stuff, realization, coming out the other side with a new perception, with a new understanding, with a new way of viewing the world. What was under here? Again, look, there's the void. So you've got the void like twice, I'm telling you. And then it's like fall into my arms. It's like going straight into it and finding, like going through the darkness and coming out the other side and finding all this abundance. It's like facing your fears, facing your own shadows, something like this. For you don't fail me now, walk me to the finish line. I feel so alone on a Friday night. That's Lana Del Rey. So here again, like I was asking, what is the void? What is the void? And I got this card. Look, here it is. It's like it's there. It's like the perception. It's like a contact lens or something, right? It's like it's right there. They're all around you. But then it came through with this surprise message. Like, again, it could be your own ancestors, but it came through with this different message of like call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. So then it came through with like, okay, let me just show you the cards that came through. So like the mirror as well there, like again, it's like your own dark, it's your own shadow. It's like it's like Bruce Wayne facing Batman. So the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. I want to say it's you. Something about like the rose, right? Peeling back the like the outer layers, the older layers to reveal the newer layers on the inside. It's something to do with your soul, like the rose as a representation of your soul, right? You unfolding like a Russian doll, right? Cracked open. Oh, I shouldn't have said the R word, the dreaded R word. Like a doll where you keep looking inside and finding a newer one, right? With more fine detail. It's like more. It's like each version of yourself becoming more and more fine and exquisite and better crafted. So it's coming through this energy, like this is the interior and then this is exterior. So like going through the darkness, going through this scary, like walking through the void energy, going through the darkness, going through the unknown, facing it, you know, aware of like the snakes and scary things around you, but keeping your eyes on the prize, going through to this new reality. And like coming out of it and realizing, you know, I've done it. I've broken the chain, don't break any trains, break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So it's like Dark Night of the Soul, because you kind of had that there. Dark Night of the Soul, going into your own void, going into the parts of yourself that are dark and scary and hard to look at. And coming out a new, better version of yourself. So you see, it's like, it could be ancestors, like being a better person than your ancestors were, like the children are the future kind of energy. But it came through with this message because all these women are the exact same woman, right? They're all the same woman. So it's like you're surrounded by past versions of yourself. It's like your own past lives on earth are acting as your own spirit guides for the future, something like this. So it came through again with these Doctor Who references that I keep on getting. Like again, got one through for Capricorn, and then Capricorn had the star whale, the beast below, and then it came through in, I think it was either Aquarius or Pisces, had this thing about, it was coming through all week actually, but this thing about the faceless astronaut, which was actually in a Doctor Who. It was the impossible astronaut in Doctor Who. So again, with these Doctor Who references, you're coming through as Clara or Doctor Who, right? Or I feel like this is Doctor Who. Symbolically, I don't know what that is for you. It's like a weird reading, but I'm just going with it. It's better than your last one, just trust me. So it's like how Doctor Who kind of goes through time and space, right? He can exist in different places at different times. There's like all these different lenses of his image as kind of like moments captured in time. So it's like you have also been spread throughout time and space, like Clara. If you know the story of Clara, like the overarching story of her, how she's kind of, her energy is spread through time and space, which is why you keep seeing her. He keeps like deja vu, right? You keep seeing her in different places. She keeps turning up. So it's like this is you, because you've been doing this energy work right at the start of the reading, where you've been, you know, expanding your energy, perhaps like I do, on a global scale, you know, international, like interstellar, like expanding outwards, reaching your psychic energy, your awareness outwards, like roots of a trees or branches of a trees, and feeling what you can feel. It's like you've spread yourself too thin energetically, and I'm exhausted. I've been so tired, and then I've been sleeping loads and having these mad dreams. So it's like energetically you've spread yourself too thin. You've spread yourself off across time and space. So you need to do this soul retrieval. Where does it say soul retrieval? It says it somewhere. Here. Soul retrieval. It's like you have to retrieve all these different parts of yourself. You have to pull yourself back together, Libra. And back here as well. Like it's obvious, really. Come to me. You're attracting you need to pull your energy back in, right? You need to regroup. You need to kind of, you've expanded so far, you need to suck it back in. So again, with this ever unfolding rose, like perhaps again as well, like perhaps experimenting with your own energy, experimenting with how far can my energy reach, where can I go, where can't I go, what can I find out, what can't I find out. Try not to abuse your power. I don't want to say I'm not intentionally abusing my power. I'm trying to make the world a better place. I'm trying to stop war, okay, guys? I think I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, and it's coming through with that, like, the answer is the feminine, the answer is more love, the answer is more understanding and acceptance and yielding. And, you know, wars aren't won with weapons. Wars are won with words, maybe something like that. So the penny's mightier than sword. I don't know. So rein it back in, rein it back in. Rein yourself back in, rein your own energy back in. So if you're not doing meditation and you're not doing yoga, do it. I swear, like, it helped me so much, because I was sat in that void. I was really, really struggling. I was like, whoa, this, whatever this energy is that I've tapped into is soul crushing. Like, it's soul crushing. I just constantly had tears streaming down my face all last night, until I sat down and did my fucking yoga finally, and I, you know, motivated myself to do it, and I did my meditation work, and I got back into my own energy and my own vibration. It's like, that's what you need to do. Okay, so where are we? There was something else. I was kind of getting Last Man on the Earth by Wolf Alice. You were the first person here and the last man on the earth, and every book you take has line upon line upon line that are written about yourself. But does the light shine on you? Does the light shine on you? Arcadia by Lana Del Rey, Flame by Barry James. Again, the name James again coming up. I think that is everything. I think that's everything. Oh, good Voldemort. That's the only thing I didn't say. You're like a good Voldemort, right? You've got your Horcruxes spread all around the world, but you need to, like, regather. You need to put the pieces of your soul back together. All right, Libra. That was a very long reading. No wonder I was so tired trying to connect to your energy. This one's much better than the other one, though. I'm not going to put the other one up. Let's get you something to close out your reading. Music could really be helping you energetically right now, or not, depending on the music. Careful about what music you listen to, the vibrations of the music, the notes. Thoughts. Careful about where your thoughts are going, perhaps. What you think about, you bring about. You know, stand in your truth, have that integrity. Thought behind. Maybe you need to leave some thoughts behind, especially if it's in terms of things that have happened in the past, your ancestors, how you were raised, you know, conflicts of the past as well. You know, like, why are we still fighting old wars? Like, why don't we get over these things? Like, can we not just find some middle ground? Can we not just think about the fucking children? Excuse me for swearing. Mirror, and you've got this here. Mirror there. Who or what is triggering you? Things can only trigger you if you let them. You know, it's up to you. You can't control other people, but you can control how you respond. People are going to have the thoughts, you know. Sugar daddy. You had a message in your other reading about you are very much an energy, a little bit rose tinted, right, of when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But you had a message of, you can only do that for so long, right, before you say, do you know what, these lemons are actually really bitter, and maybe I'm sick of lemonade. You know, it's like you've sugar-coated something for, they're giving me something about sugar-coated. Tastes so sweet. Sugar-coated, tastes so sweet. I think it's from a song. I'll try and remember to look it up. But it's like, the lemons have been bitter all along. But you've sugar-coated it, or you've worn so many rose-tinted glasses. Again, this veil, you know, the veil on your eyes. You could put it on yourself before you accept, you know, that something is actually, it is just bitter. It was never sweet. It's not bittersweet. It's just bitter. Company. One more. You know, your energy was perhaps what made it tolerable. You know, if you removed your energy from the situation, it would just be lemons, wouldn't it? Children. Yeah, think of the children, right? Okay. Let's see what else we can get you. I'm sorry about that, headphone users, when I do that. It's like shocking myself, right? Shocking myself. Let's get you, do we want to go back to Angels Among Us? What do we want to get for you? That moon is talking to you, isn't it? Let's get you a moonology card. As your advice, some of you like sat on it there, right? Singing. The future will get better. Trust me, I've seen it. I've had the dreams. I've had the visions. Good stuff is coming. We just have to get through this dark period. Stick with it. Have faith in your dreams and hold your vision. Hold that vision. Whatever you've seen, it could be through dreams, right? You had a dream of a better future, or it's just what you want for the future. Hold your vision. We need more people. If that's you, right? If you're seeing, if you're the one, if you're the nightingale saying, hope is coming, a better future is coming. I've seen the new world and it's better, right? It's better for the children. You know, you can be that symbol of hope as we go through this dark period. You know, if you're one of those people, if you're one of those people with your eyes on the prize, and the prize being good things, you know, good things, then we need more of you in the world. We need more of your energy in the world. So stick it out. You are doing good. You are having an impact, right? You are connected. There are other people who think and feel like you. And that is creating this blanket energy that's calling in. It's actually calling in the better future. So keep your energy up, keep your vibration up, however you can do that. And it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be hard. Sometimes we have to rely on others. Sometimes we have to pick others up. But the more of us that raise the vibration, the more of us that put positive energy and truth and justice and hope and love into the world, the better the world will be. Don't let the darkness win. Okay, have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. However, the waxing crescent, oh, I love that. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end, so stick it out, right? However, the waxing crescent moon card is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you're asking about and allow your higher self to download. So again, this could be your own higher self, right? Your own ancestral, your own past lives, right? Speaking to you. Allow your higher self to download information to you about the next best step through meditation, right? Overall, this card suggests that there is every reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome to the situation you're asking about. So keep the faith. Keep the faith, keep the faith. I am focused on what I want. Just because you can't see your dreams, it doesn't mean they're not manifesting. What did I say? What did I say? It's there, you just can't see it. Don't look back, stay focused on moving forwards. Be patient as events unfold. Dig a little deeper to find more courage. Okay, hold your vision. Hold. I'm just trying to find it. Fixed moon, where are you, fixed moon? I feel like you should be near cardinal moon. That would make sense. Yeah, there you are. There are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation is that something is stuck. This could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great. Because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection, again with the mirror, right? Self-reflection. Libras are like, I've done so much shadow work. Can we please just move on right now? Attune to the moon, yes. Just say the word a lot and see how it feels. Staying power, faith, or patience are needed. Someone needs to back down. Avoid stagnation. A personal or professional relationship will be enduring. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. I'm sorry it's such a long reading, Libra, but trust me, this is so much better than your last one, because in the last one, I was really in that darkness. I was really in that hopelessness. I was really in that the fear. I was sat in the shadows, right? I was sat I was sat here and I was like, I cannot sit here. This is not a healthy energy. What can I do? And it was really hard to get motivated, and I was making excuses and I was apathetic, but I finally got off my arse and I did some fucking yoga, very half-heartedly. I was so tired as well, and it's so hard to motivate yourself when you're tired. But again, this is like breaking that deadlock, breaking your own deadlock, of getting into unhealthy patterns, unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy, even if it's just, oh, I'll do yoga tomorrow, it's unhealthy. So, doing the things that are going to help you. So, for example, I normally only drink once a week because I used to drink quite unhealthily, and drinking can actually affect the chemical activity in your brain. It can cause you to have really low moods, or to not be able to, to have that kind of fuddled thinking, even when the effects of alcohol have worn off, because it actually blocks vital nutrients from getting to your brain. So I had drank a little bit more than usual last week, and at the start of the week, because there was like a works do that I went to. And I'm still recovering from having long COVID, so my energy levels and my strength are not fully back up to where they were, and it's been cold and all this, so I don't feel like I'm doing the things that my brain needs to be happy. I'm not, right? I'm actually doing the things that my brain suffers with. So eating healthily, not fucking drinking, getting enough sleep, doing the yoga, going out for walks. Again, I went out for that walk this morning, meditating, doing the things that is healthy and which create the right kind of chemicals for my brain so that I can function and not cry all the time is, you have to force yourself to get into these better habits of behavior. So again, and that's ancestral for me. That's my ancestry with coming from a family, a society, a family, a culture that is a drinking culture, that is a pub culture. My dad, he makes and sells alcohol. My mum used to be a landlady of a pub. It's very much the culture that I'm raised in, to drink a lot. So breaking those kind of patterns is it doesn't take a day, right? It takes a lifetime, and I'm doing it. I just have to stick with it, and sometimes you fall down, and that's okay too. So again, what's healthy for you, again, talking about yourself, right? The best version of yourself, and the worst version of yourself. How do you get that? They show me I think it's called like a plumb bob. Not a plumb bob like on The Sims, like a plumb bob, like, do you use it to like measure stuff, or like in a car? No, is it a dipstick? It might be a dipstick. I'm a dipstick, can relate. But it's like, how do you get the water level up? How do you raise the vibration in yourself? I'm going because this is a long reading. You're sick of me. Okay, leave me a like if you like. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's free to do, and it really helps out the channel. Let me know if anything particularly resonated. I know this was a weird reading, but trust me, it was better than the last one. Go and meditate. All right, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, Libra friends. Bye, Libra fam.